hey, with James, what's up? I just got back from Disney World. Oh, fun. No, not fun. I hate Disney World. Everything is overpriced and overcrowded. Well, I do have some tips that could help with that. They don't even let you smoke on It's a Small World anymore. Don't think you ever could. It's not a place for adults. You get kicked out just for having a few too many drinks and then heckling Donald Duck on the Mexico boat ride. Oh, I saw a TikTok about you. Disney World is the worst, and anyone who likes it is a weirdo. Well, considering that Disney is kind of my whole thing, I strongly disagree. But I do think that you could have had fun if you had talked to me first. And in this video, I'm gonna show you how. Hi, I'm James from Guide to WDW. This video is somewhat unique and calls for a different kind of introduction. This, as you may recognize, is my evil twin. He's my opposite in every way. He's a rude dude with attitude. He loves getting into arguments with strangers online about The Last Jedi, and he hates all things Disney. Basically, he's my Waluigi. And even though he's evil, he's here because I want to take a look at Disney World from the hater's perspective. Because I believe that anyone can have fun at Disney. Now, obviously, I'm not a hater, but I've taken haters to Disney World. Or people who are lukewarm or just going for their kids. But because they go with me, they end up having a great time. Is it because of my personality? Maybe, but mainly it's because I know from experience what to avoid. So in this video, with the help of my evil twin, I'm going to address 8 of the biggest complaints that Disney World haters have, from high prices to long lines, and tell you, dear viewer, what at Disney World to avoid and what to do instead. Whether you're a Disney hater or lover, you'll come away equipped with the knowledge that will help you have more fun on your Disney World vacation while spending less money. The food at Disney World is overpriced, glorified cafeteria food. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, there's some bad food to be found at Disney World. One time I bought a kid's chicken nugget meal, a side of fries, and a soda, and when I saw that it cost $20, I almost turned into the Joker. If you're spending most of your vacation just buying bland burgers for $15 each, that's a recipe to turn into a hater. But here's the thing. There are over 200 restaurants at Disney World. That's as many as in a small city. And just like your home city, there are going to be good restaurants and there are going to be bad restaurants. So my advice is avoid the mediocre restaurants. As a rule of thumb, the restaurants that are built for high quantity aren't built for high quality. But there are plenty of restaurants where the food is legitimately good and in some cases reasonably priced. Now, where to eat at Disney World is a giant topic with blogs and channels devoted just to Disney food. Here's a quick rundown of which restaurants to avoid in each park and where to eat instead. At Magic Kingdom, skip Cosmic Ray's Starlight Cafe, Pinocchio Village House, and Be Our Guest. Instead, go to Columbia Harbor House for quick service and Skipper Canteen for table service. At Hollywood Studios, skip Backlot Express and ABC Commissary. Instead, go to Woody's Lunchbox, Ronto Roasters, Docking Bay 7, or Baseline Tap House and get one of those giant pretzels. They're really good. At Animal Kingdom, skip Pizza Safari and Flame Tree Barbecue and instead go to Satuli Canteen for the best quick service in all the parks. Nomad Lounge is also amazing for a drink and an appetizer. Epcot used to have 2 counter service restaurants that were a hard pass, Electric Umbrella and Liberty Inn. But those have been replaced by 2 much better options, Connections Eatery and Regal Eagle Smokehouse. It's hard to find a really bad option at Epcot now. My only skips now are the Italy booths at the festivals and the Coral Reef restaurant, mainly because eating seafood in front of an aquarium just feels unsportsmanlike. Theme parks aren't for me. I'm just here for my kids. So there's a genre of shirt you'll see at Disney World, like Most Expensive Day Ever, that are worn mostly by dads, saying basically, I was dragged here against my will, I'm not having fun, I have no intention to try to have fun, and also I kinda hate my family. There's a lot to untangle there. Ignoring the family dynamics, this is a particularly challenging type of hater to deal with, because they have a preconceived notion that it's all kiddie stuff and they just aren't going to have fun. And some people would rather be right than have a good time. But here's the thing. Going to Disney World and complaining that it's just for kids is like going to a library, spending all your time in a kids section, and then wondering why you can't find something by Tom Clancy. It's there, you just don't know where to look. So my advice is avoid having a closed mind. Which, I mean, is good advice in general. But when it comes to Disney World, that means seeking out activities that you find fun or interesting. Maybe fireworks, parades, and characters aren't your thing. But do you like concerts, tiki bars, golf, mini golf, getting a massage, food festivals, gourmet multi-course meals, wine tastings, drinking beer out of a giant stein, riding in a boat shaped like a freaking car? You can do all of that at Disney World. There is literally fun to be had for everyone. So if you or someone you know is deeply skeptical of a Disney vacation, carve out some time for these lesser known activities. And maybe doing that will help open up your mind to actually having fun watching the fireworks and meeting Mickey Mouse. $300 for a value resort? These hotel prices are crazy. Let's talk hotels, because it's going to be one of the biggest ticket items of your Disney World vacation. And if you're even a little price conscious, staying on property could turn you into a hater. Ironically, Disney's value resorts aren't a great value. You can end up spending luxury hotel prices for some pretty bare accommodations. And at their standard rates, all of Disney's hotels range from pretty pricey to eye-wateringly expensive. Yes, the theming can be fun, but most of what you're paying for is convenience and some perks. Also, consider the fact that if you're spending most of your time inside the theme parks, you may be spending a lot of money at a hotel you won't spend that much time at. But I have two things to avoid that can help you out. First, avoid paying full price for Disney resorts. If you want to stay at one of the official Disney resorts, you can get a room for cheaper. Disney is constantly running promotions that help make their resorts more affordable, either by reducing the room rate or adding in perks like a free dining plan. You can find these on their website, but honestly, the best way to guarantee one of these deals is to book your stay through a travel agent. They have access to all the best rates, and if you book with them and a better rate comes out later, they can help you get the new, better deal, so you're guaranteed to pay the lowest rate possible. Also, if you work with an authorized Disney travel agent, you don't pay them. They get paid a commission by Disney, so their services are completely free to you. I have a link in the description below with the travel agency I recommend that specializes in Disney vacations. Another option is to buy DVC points from a trusted site like David's DVC. This site is basically a marketplace where people who have bought into Disney's DVC timeshare can sell their extra points that they aren't going to use. And then you can use these points to basically stay at a deluxe resort for a drastically reduced price. I'll show you what I mean. I priced out a 7-night stay at 3 different deluxe resorts at the beginning of March, and each room cost significantly less through David's DVC than compared to Disney. Sometimes less than half of what Disney charges. You can use my link below to check out the prices for yourself. So there are easy ways to save hundreds or even thousands of dollars on staying at a Disney resort. But my second piece of advice is avoid Disney's hotels altogether. There are a lot of third-party options that give you way more bang for the buck, and many of these still include Disney's perks. The highest tier of these are the handful of third-party hotels that basically offer all the perks of a Disney deluxe resort, including early entry, extended evening hours, booking Lightning Lane 7 days in advance, and free parking at the theme parks. That's the Swan, Dolphin, and Swan Reserve, which all accept Bonvoy points, and Shades of Green, which is very affordable and only available to active duty and retired military members and their families. There's also a lot of good neighbor hotels from brands like Marriott, Holiday Inn, and Hilton that are way more affordable than Disney's value resorts, but still give you access to early theme park entry. Now, transportation will be less convenient, and you'll probably have to pay for theme park parking or Ubers, but with all the money you'll save on the hotel, you'll be way ahead. Even if you aren't budget conscious, you may have a better time spending your money at a hotel like the Waldorf Astoria or the Four Seasons and get a much more luxurious experience than what you'd get at Disney's deluxe resorts for a similar price tag, or sometimes even less. There's a lot more advice coming in this video, but if you're finding it helpful so far, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to Guide to WDW so you don't miss any more of my Disney World tips. Getting to Magic Kingdom is awful. Our day was ruined before we even got into the park. First impressions make a big difference. Magic Kingdom is the first park most people go to when they go to Disney World. And the very first thing you experience at Magic Kingdom isn't the castle, Main Street, or even the train station. It's the Transportation and Ticket Center, aka TTC. I'm not a Disney hater, but I hate the TTC. First, you drive around a massive parking lot, and then once you finally park, you have to take a tram. But the tram doesn't take you to Magic Kingdom, no. It takes you here to a secondary transportation hub where you can then get on a monorail or a boat that will then take you to Magic Kingdom. And at the beginning of the day, these usually have very long lines. And somehow, even after visiting Disney World for decades, the TTC always takes more time than I think it will. So avoid the TTC. If you're staying at the Grand Floridian, Contemporary, or Polynesian, you don't have to worry about the TTC. Just take the monorail or even walk to the park. If you take one of Disney's buses to Magic Kingdom, you'll get dropped off here and can avoid the TTC altogether. Now, normal ride shares like Uber and Lyft will drop you off at the TTC, but if you take a minivan, which is available through the Lyft app, it will drop you off right by the bus drop-off, which saves a lot of time. But what if you can't avoid the TTC? Honestly, just try to get to Magic Kingdom 30 to 45 minutes earlier than you were initially planning. Yes, it's annoying, but at least that will minimize the amount of time parking at Magic Kingdom will take away from being at Magic Kingdom. By the way, the other parks don't have this issue because their parking lots are right by the entrance rather than across a lagoon for some reason.
Going to Disney World is exhausting. I need a vacation from my vacation.
Some people find a Disney World vacation overwhelming. I recently told some neighbors that we just got back from Disney, and they reacted almost like I told them we spent our family vacation climbing a mountain. Wow, that's a lot. How are you guys holding up? And I get it. Going to Disney can be exhausting. The planning, the reservations, the early mornings, the walking. You can easily walk 10 plus miles a day. For reference, that's almost a half marathon for every single day of your trip. So many families try to win Disney by packing in as much as possible into every single day of their vacation to get their money's worth and make as many magical memories as possible. And probably after 3 or 4 days of this, your family will be exhausted and grumpy and fighting, all in the name of having fun. It's a mistake I've made before, and it can turn anyone into a Disney hater. So, avoid burning yourself out. Take breaks. Don't spend every single day in the parks. My rule of thumb is for every 2 days I spend in the parks, I'll plan an off day where I just relax and enjoy the resort that I'm spending so much money on. If you're going for a shorter trip, you can totally do every day in the park, but I'd still recommend taking a break in the middle of the day. Either way, you'll end up having a better time by taking a less is more approach to Disney.
I'm a sophisticated thrill seeker, and Disney World is just baby rides for babies.
The rides at Disney World aren't as intense as they are at Universal or Busch Gardens. In general, Disney leans more on theming, but that doesn't mean that Disney World is lacking thrills. In fact, the best Disney rides, in my opinion, seamlessly blend theming and thrills. So seek out the thrills. If you have a need for speed and intensity, here's what to ride in each park. When it comes to thrill rides, Magic Kingdom is the most approachable for all ages, with Tron, Tiana's Bayou Adventure, Big Thunder Mountain, and Space Mountain. Even Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is a great option for a kid's first roller coaster that adults can still have fun on. At Epcot, Guardians of the Galaxy is as good of a roller coaster as you're going to find anywhere. It's just a blast and very thrilling. Test Track is also fun, and Mission Space is not my favorite ride, but it is very intense on the orange side. Hollywood Studios is the best park for thrills. Tower of Terror, Rock 'n' Roller Coaster, Star Tours, and even Slinky Dog Dash are all great thrill rides, each with intense moments. I'd rank Millennium Falcon, Rise of the Resistance, and Mickey's Runaway Railway all as mildly thrilling. Finally, at Animal Kingdom, Expedition Everest, Flight of Passage, and Dinosaur/The Future Indiana Jones ride are all really fun rides. But also just walking around the park, because isn't nature the ultimate thrill ride? Oh, I'm being told it's not, and that Guardians of the Galaxy is better. Can't argue with that.
Fine, there are some good rides, but you're just gonna be waiting in line the entire time.
I get it. Nobody likes lines. If you're spending most of your vacation in line, you're gonna have a bad time. I go to Disney all the time, and I hate lines. But I have a good time because I know how to avoid them. So avoid the lines using these strategies. Follow my early-late rule. Lines are lowest first thing in the morning and right before park closing, so prioritize the most popular rides then. Take advantage of early entry and extended evening hours. If you can, pay for an after-hours event where the lines are pretty much non-existent. Buy Lightning Lane, which can save you a lot of time in line. Or try visiting during the off-season when lines across the board will be lower. If you want to know the specific weeks to go and when to avoid, I have a whole video series on the best and worst times to visit Disney World that will tell you exactly that.
Disney's so expensive, it feels like they're squeezing every last penny from me.
That's actually a really good point. Considering a restaurant at Disney's Boardwalk just made headlines for $25 slices of cake, I don't have much of a rebuttal to that. But I do have some advice to avoid the ripoffs. First of all, let's talk about the genie in the room. Well, what used to be called Genie, Lightning Lane Multipass, because it's a pretty good distillation of this hater's complaint. At the same time Disney increased ticket prices, they also took what used to be a free skip-the-line perk, Fast Pass, changed the name to Lightning Lane, and started charging $20 to $40 per person per day. This became even more egregious when Disney recently rolled out a better version called Lightning Lane Premier Pass for up to $450 per person per day. Now, if you're even considering spending money on Premier Pass, congratulations on your disposable income. But if you're sweating whether or not to buy the cheaper Lightning Lane, here's a bit of advice. With some planning, you can actually navigate Disney World just fine without Lightning Lane. The early-late rule I mentioned earlier does a lot of the heavy lifting. You could also buy Lightning Lane only on certain days, like a day where you're going to spend all day at Magic Kingdom or Hollywood Studios. But if you're going to Animal Kingdom, you're probably fine to skip Lightning Lane Multipass and just opt for a single pass at Flight of Passage. Let me know in the comments if you'd like a whole video about how to tackle Disney World without Lightning Lane. Speaking of another video, Disney has a lot of other overpriced items like water bottles, fuel rod chargers, and ponchos that you should never buy at Disney World. If you want to find out which items you should never buy at Disney World, you'll want to watch my next video by clicking here. And hopefully your Disney vacation will have a lot less hate and a lot more to love. This has been James from Guide to WDW. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you real soon.